It's said that the Eightfold Path requires dedication and determination. They don't really have one for pizza, but pizza's my passion, so I made my own path. My quest to achieve pizza nirvana began during my childhood in Manhattan, so my first love was New York-style pizza. But I first attempted pizza making at age 10. I used Appian Way pizza mix. You just add water, rises in 5 minutes, and it tastes pretty much the way it sounds. But the process fueled my pizza obsession, and it piqued an interest in cooking. I point out that when baking, you should be suspicious of anything that takes just 5 minutes to rise. So pizza was my avocation, but I trained as a classical violist and conductor for 10 years, starting at age 9. But I got bored, one thing led to another, and at 24 I made a drastic career change to the restaurant business. I wanted to learn more about cooking, craved adventure, and I wanted to travel. So I worked in Europe for several years, apprenticing in restaurant kitchens. I washed dishes, mopped floors, chopped vegetables, learned to make gelato, butchered primal cuts, worked the line, and everything in between. Everything but pizzaiolo, pizza maker. So pizza and I were still hot and heavy, but I needed skills that would be marketable back home. And in 1988, I opened my first restaurant in Manhattan, Col Legno. Although I had no specific training as a pizzaiolo, I was confident that I made a pretty decent pizza. The critics were generally enthusiastic about the restaurant, the food, the desserts, the pizza, not so much. One reviewer summed it up: Col Legno's majestic wood-fired oven rules the dining room. Unfortunately, its pizza does not. Eventually, I moved to Italy, and I opened several restaurants, none of which served pizza. One day, a Neapolitan friend of mine invited me to Naples, which is pizza mecca, to try vera pizza napoletana, true Neapolitan pizza, or VPN to those in the know. La migliore, the best, according to him. So I was skeptical. I knew the pizza had originated in Naples, but Italians, okay, pretty much they invented how to have a good time, but they're also prone to hyperbole and gesticulation, which linguistically and culturally they've elevated to an art form. But that's a different pachaka-chaka. A steaming hot plate of heaven was set before me, and I savored a margarita masterpiece. Yes, that day at iconic Pizzeria Trianon, I had a pizza epiphany, a transformative culinary experience. Sometimes, Italian hyperbole is truthful. I was now a VPN convert, and after 20 years in Italy, I met my partner Jennifer, who convinced me to move to Waterville and help her transform an Italian market into a restaurant. At Italia, we make pizza and gelato from scratch, source and directly import many of the products we use and sell, and had our wood-fired oven custom built in Naples. We really strive to offer our guests an authentic Italian dining experience, which is how I wound up at the AVN Pizza School in Naples, getting a pizzaiolo certification in the craft of Neapolitan pizza. Sketchy instructors, like Rosario here, guided us through the science of pizza, which is the Hagberg Index, the falling number, the Brabender Farinograph, why the letter W denotes flour strength, buffalo mozzarella production, which San Marzano tomatoes are genuine, and even how to make pizza. So there's an inverse correlation between VPN pizza's simplicity as a food and the complexity of its preparation. To make Neapolitan pizza dough, AVPN, the True Neapolitan Pizza Association, specifies certain water, sea salt, yeast, and flour requirements. At Italia, our slogan is Italian with a Maine accent. So we use local Maine sea salt and special 00 pizza flour from Italy. These ingredients are combined according to strict AVM protocols and then divided into individual dough balls using a process called the staglio, the special hand shaping of the dough, which must leaven and ferment for 24 hours at room temperature before it can be used. As the dough matures, the yeast transforms the amino acids and the glucose in the dough into carbon dioxide and ethanol. The gases trapped in the dough cause it to expand, and the alcohol in the ethanol evaporates during baking. So to make a VPN pizza, you carefully remove a disc of dough from the tray using a triangular spatula, so as not to disturb the air within. You shape it gently by pressing all of the air to the edges of the dough, creating the puffy rim, or cornicione. You flip it over, you repeat the pressing to the edges, and then you flip and you press it once more. Now comes the slap, or if you're from Naples, lo slap. This is a tricky method of stretching dough by simultaneously slapping, pulling, and rotating. It requires a lot of skill and dexterity. I think I lost my mic. And like the proverbial trip to Carnegie Hall, practice, practice, and more practice. Using San Marzano tomatoes that you've crushed by hand, spread 1.5 to 2 ladles over the surface of the dough in a spiral outward motion. Working quickly, you top with mozzarella and basil for a margarita, or garlic and oregano to marinara. Add a splash of extra virgin olive oil. To VPN aficionados, these are really the only two pizzas that matter. With your palm, dust a minuscule amount of flour onto the peel, and using your fingers like scissors, pull the pizza onto the peel and finish stretching it. Check the oven. The temperature has to be at least 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the peel on an angle inside the oven at the spot where you want the pizza to land, and zip the peel back towards you in a single continuous lightning fast motion. Oh, and check to be sure no one's behind you, because that can end badly. If done correctly, the pizza glides off the peel onto the surface of the oven. Just a few turns and it's done, because the surface is made from biscotto di Sorrento, a special refractory clay. It bakes the pizza in under 60 seconds. If it's longer than that, it's not a Neapolitan pizza. Molten hot from the oven, the flavors are fresh and vibrant and meant to be eaten immediately using a knife and fork. The tradition of pizzaiolo, often familial, is handed down from one generation to the next, and pizza, a cucina povera, a food of the poor, has been consumed by the citizens of Naples in one form or another for centuries. It's woven into the fabric of the city and the world, as the recent inclusion of the art of Neapolitan pizzaiolo on the UNESCO representative list of the intangible culture of humanity attests. Here in our community, I'm proud to have the opportunity to share and be a practitioner of this artisanal craft, which has brought happiness to multitudes and my long journey to pizza perfection to an end.